Hey guys, what's up? So we've got some brand new cards which are coming as V-Jump promos in fall 2020. The first card is Dark Alligator. It's a dark reptile effect monster, level 8 with 2500 attack and 2300 defense. You can tribute summon this card by tributing one reptile monster. When this card is tribute summoned, you can special summon alligator tokens, their reptile dark level 1, with 2000 attack and 0 defense, up to the number of reptile monsters attributed for this card's summon. 2. If this tribute summoned card is destroyed by battle or by an opponent's card effect, while it in its owner's monster zone, you can add one reptile monster from your deck to your hand, except Dark Alligator. So the stats on this card aren't particularly great. For a level 8 monster, there are so many more powerful ones. It's versatile from the point of view that you can summon this by just tributing one reptile monster, and there aren't any limitations to it. For example, there are certain monsters that if you summon with a reduced tribute, their stats become, say, like 1000 attack or 0, just as an example. This gives you kind of a little bit more flexibility to potentially have a level 8 monster whose even remains with its level. So you can actually go into your rank 8 exceeds monsters if you wish. Of course, even summoning only with the one tribute leaves you with another token, so you can go into a rank 2, or if you get both the full tribute, this can go into something like a Borrowload Dragon. These token generating cards are actually seen as quite favourable at the moment. Obviously with link monsters, the more tokens you're able to summon and generate, the more likely you are to get the card advantage. This is why certain cards such as Scapegoat have seen a lot more play. Of course this might change depending on how Yu-Gi-Oh! Summons goes. The second effect is likely to be also used as well, because as soon as this card is destroyed by your opponent, you're able to kind of search for a reptile-based card. Offhand, there isn't anything particularly that great at the moment that you can use. I suppose Kage Tokage, and there are probably a couple of reptile monsters, but it's not one of those more heavily supported types. Things like dragons, warriors, spellcasters, those are in the main. Reptiles have kind of been forgotten about to an extent, so we'll have to wait for its value to be seen later on. The next card is Reptia Egg. Well, you can't have the crocodile without the egg as well. It's an Earth reptile level 1 with 0 attack and 0 defense. You can use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1, it cannot be destroyed in battle, and 2, during your next standby phase, after this card was normal summoned, you can tribute it, special summon up to 3 level 3 or lower reptile or rock monsters from your hand or deck. If you summon 2 or more monsters, they must have the same name, but banish them during the end phase. So this card is good from the point of view that it can't be destroyed by battle. So you can actually set this card, and unless your opponent is running some sort of piercing effect, it can be used just to stall, helping you go into your next standby phase, which is much better than what you could imagine. If this had no protection to it, there are certain cards. There's a Gladiator Beast, and there's also, I think it's called Securator. And there's also one of these heroic challenger monsters, which is a level 1, which has like 0 attack and 0 defense, which rely on being able to use their effect during your next standby phase. But they provide themselves with no protection, so you have to run protection for them. This at least has battle protection, so it's much easier to go into its second effect. Getting rid of this card means you're able to go into multiple monsters. However, the problem is you are having to have the same name for those monsters. So if well, there's two situations you can have. You can either have one of those monsters maybe in your graveyard where you can't recover it, so you're limited to what you can bring out, or potentially you might be able to do that, because at least you have the option of the hand or the deck. I would say if it had only been for the deck, if you'd hard drawn into something, that could really disrupt your plays. Going into level 3, level 4 or lower monsters means you have the option of going into either link monsters, or you can go into specific rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 or rank 4 seas monsters, which is okay. It's a much faster way of bringing out those monsters rather than having to use and expend multiple cards. This is a one card wonder in itself, and I wouldn't sleep on this card. I think this card is much better than people might think. The only trouble is, of course, if you can't be running multiple of these. I would say just run one if you're going to run any at all. The final card is called Samsara Dragon. This is a light dragon level 1 with 0 attack and 0 defense. You can use this card name's second effect once per turn. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a dragon monster, and 2, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 level 5 or higher dragon monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can tribute summon it. The first effect of this card is not really that viable. Most people don't try and tribute summon for cards these days. They just try and kind of special summon them out using either another monster effect or a spell effect, very rarely from a trap these days. And the second effect is also not that viable because in order to tribute summon it, you would need other monsters on your field. Out of the 3 cards, I think it's the least effective, and I can see it just being a bit of a disappointment. It being having no stats either means it's very easy to walk over it, and unless you're going to link it away, it's just not advisable to use. What do you think, guys, think of these new cards, and which of them is your favourite? Do you agree with me that this last one has a bit of an issue to it? As always, please leave your comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe.